All right, ladies. So thanks for joining us tonight. I just wanted to do a quick run through of BOD groups and kind of the plan moving forward. Like you guys know, I posted in the Rise group about finishing the roll call in there. I didn't really consult too many of you because not many of you really have like your main people in Rise anyway. And for those of you who don't have a community of their own, consider this your little in the healthy kick in the rear end to do it, because I know that you've got people to start a BOD group. So a BOD group can be run with as little as like 2 challengers. Okay. So don't think that it has to be something extensive. It doesn't have to be something big. My first group was me, my sisters, my one cousin, and that's about it. So it only really needs a few people, because actually the less people, the more engaged people will be. But the reality is Beachbody is moving in this direction. They have invested billions of dollars into this platform. And to be honest, we don't have control over Facebook. It's not as professional. It's not something that's aligned with our business. People are paying for this service anyway. So let's let them use it and let's really utilize it and let's help people get results. And that's how I've really tried to sell it to, the community and to the individuals that I'm talking about, is like the BOD groups is just going to help you track. It's going to help you keep track of your progress, and it's going to let me be able to see, super simple to click on people's names and see their progress and see how many workouts they've tracked instead of scrolling through Instagram or Facebook comments. So basically my plan is to keep the Facebook group open just for like content and questions, recipes, like motivation. There's not a ton going on there anyway right now, but I plan on being present in there and just kind of like, a couple times a week posting some quality value stuff and seeing if people will engage. Otherwise, the BOD groups has really alleviated a lot of pressure. I don't know if you guys have ever sat down or like gone to bed on a Sunday night and then been like, oh my God, I haven't scheduled the roll call for next week. And it's just like kind of one more thing. Hey, ladies, it's just like one more thing kind of added to our mental plates that isn't really necessary. So I know Tammy mentioned that guide that Milen shared. Did you guys all see that in that Google Drive? What I'll do is I'll share my screen with you so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. All right, don't mind my desktop. So I shared with you guys, most of you guys, this Google Drive. And if you don't have it, then reach out to me or to your coach. Hopefully we can find you a copy of it. But it's basically just called like Sisterhood Coaches. And in here, if you go into, sorry, my water heater, I hope it's not too loud. In here, if you go into the Challenger Group tool, if you go into Start Strong, Milen has added some really awesome stuff in here. And this is what Tammy was talking about yesterday or the other day when she asked about this. So if you haven't gone through this guide, I highly recommend it. It's very in-depth, comprehensive in that like this is how like a well-oiled machine can run for something like a 21-day challenge group. So if you want to do a BOD group that's just 21 days, that's like a Start Strong, then perfect. So she's got some tips in here. I won't go through it all. You guys can read it yourself, but she's literally just put in like the prep week. She's put in like literally you can copy and paste this if that's something that you want to do into posts. Now, how it works in BOD groups, let me pull up the BOD groups, is when you're going to your group, you can pin posts. So you don't have to do a daily roll call, but if you want, and in this guide, she only does it like every maybe 3 days or so that someone or that she's posting something in there. So I love that. I love that it kind of alleviates you a little bit, and so that the pressure's off and you can just kind of choose when to schedule posts. But you can pre-schedule posts the same way that you did with Facebook. So don't be scared of that. I'm definitely not a pro, but let me go in here and show you guys. So am I logged in as Dave? Oh, sorry. I used my husband's account. Pro tip for all of you who have a spouse account, You buy new programs through your spouse, then you get the volume off it. So every time there's a new program, I buy it through Dave. So I'm under Dave. Okay. So that should be me. Perfect. So if this is the group that I've got here. So what you can do is you can literally like put in your post, you can do all of the things. And then when you go to the post now, you can click this little down arrow and you can schedule it. So you can sit on a Sunday and you can pre-schedule your posts if you'd like. Okay, so just know that it is very similar to the Facebook group in that. Also, what I really love, there's a files section in here where you can just add any of your files that you want. So if you want to take stuff from our Rise or any of your communities, if you want to take any of like the meal planning, things like that, you can just take them and drop them right into the BOD group there. And then you can just direct your people to the files section. But it is cool because you can see your participants, you can see how much they've worked out, like how many workouts they've done. You can check in on them. I personally love it. I think it is going to be a great tool, especially because it's going to alleviate that pressure of having to have the roll call every single day. And then we're really going on like the kind of like ego of how many people are liking my posts rather than really being focused on, okay, who's actually tracking their workouts, who's actually showing up and doing the workouts, and who's getting the results, because that's what we ultimately want, right? So in Milen's guide, I believe she does 5 or 7 day, gotta check it. She either does a 5 or a 7 day prep. Let me see. Prep weeks, day 6, day 7. Yeah, so she does a week-long prep. So totally up to you. You don't have to have a week-long prep if you think that that's a long time. You can do 3 days, you can do 5 days, and kind of keep it like that. Now, if you're going to open a BOD group, like the Rise roll call is going to stop on March 1st, or like for March 1st. So that just means I'm no longer going to be posting those roll call pics every day, but otherwise everything else is fine. So just make sure that your people are in a BOD group. Make sure you open up a BOD group if you haven't already, and just send them a request, invite them to join. It'll prompt you to invite people. You can send in their email addresses, so you can go to the back office and just copy and paste, and you can do like a whole group of people at once. So you can just copy and paste all of your customers, like your active customers' email addresses in there. Even the non-active ones, toss them an invite. You can personalize the invitation message too, to say like, hey, even if you want to group it up to your active people and maybe your not active people, and change the message based on who you're messaging. And try and get them to re-engage and see if they want to join, see if they want to be a part of it. So that's kind of my plan moving forward. So I am going to have that Rise group forever running. So I'm going to plan on always having a Rise BOD group running. It's going to have no end date. And then, or I guess the end date will be December 31st, 2021. I'll make it for 1 year. And then I'm going to, kind of similar to the sisterhood timeline, be following along the 3-week like Rise Strong, Start Strong thing. So I'm going to start it on the 8th. My life has been a bit of a gong show recently, so I know I've kind of switched dates around and stuff like that recently for me personally. You definitely don't have to follow that timeline. You can start a group anytime you want, and you don't even have to do a Start Strong or a 3-week group. You could just start a BOD group and just have it as your BOD group that's like kind of ongoing. There's no rules, which is pretty awesome. So you do what serves you best and what you think is going to serve your customers best. So questions. Does anyone have questions? Stace.
Yeah, so I was wondering, I haven't checked this yet, but can we run free groups in there? Like, can someone without a Beachbody on demand just create like an account and use it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cause I have 2 friends in my like community that have been like very loyal, very dedicated, but are waiting for like their, I don't know, like Kayla It Signs thing to expire and just like waiting to buy. So I want to make sure I can still keep them because they love the whole community thing. So that was my only thing that I want to check, because I've been meaning to do this forever too. Like we piloted it with Control Freak and they're all loving it. So I think we're gonna make the move too.
Totally. Okay. Yeah, you literally just drop their email addresses in there and it'll invite them via email. So you can do that too.
I just say something super quick as well. So I started one maybe at the beginning of February. And what you can also do is your coaches. So let's say you have coaches working under you and they want to create a BOD group. You can also be a part of their group. And when you log your workout, it gives you the option of which community you want to share it to. So I find it works nicely with my coaches because then I can also share my workout to their community, kind of boost their community a little bit, and vice versa. They can share their workouts to my community as well. So it might not be a bad idea too if like some of us want to join, each other's community and groups just to kind of see how that works. And then it might even boost up engagement a little bit more as well. So just
That's
a little note.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Sarah. And that being said, if you want me in your group, let me in. And I might post as Dave Milk sometimes by accident if I'm not paying close attention, but it won't be his face, it'll be mine. But yeah, that's a great tip, Sarah. Thank you. Anything else? How are we feeling about it? Like, I know it's nerve-wracking using a new, yeah, Brianne.
I was going to say that I struggle with it because I love having like the daily check-in and then everyone comments in that one check-in on Facebook. So my like main hesitation is I feel like I'm just going to be spending my time like scrolling through, or I'm going to miss out on some people that have posted and I just won't have seen it because the feed like it is not that it's huge, but like I might miss out on things there. That's where my like reservation with it is, to be honest with you.
So I think like what's cool, Brianne, is that you can still post, like if you want to do a daily engagement post, like in that Sisterhood Coaches Start Strong file that you have on Google, they have a 21 days of engagement posts. I have to check them to make sure that they're not Sisterhood branded. I don't know if you care about that or if that matters, but I'm not sure if they're branded, but it's an engagement post question. So you could post that each day with a pin, and then your people who are engaging in that, great. And then the people maybe who you just want to check and make sure that they're doing their workouts, that's where you can just click on their name and actually see if they've been doing workouts. So yeah, it's going to be trickier to go through and like pour all the love on your people all the time. But you can still do accountability buddies. So Court was telling me that in order for them to tag their accountability buddy, they just won't be able to do it right off the cuff. So as they're doing their post, they won't be able to tag the person right away instantly. They'll have to post the post and then they can either comment the person's name underneath or whatever. But accountability buddies for sure is huge because that's really going to help your customers kind of do that job for you. And then you got your eye on Sally for like coach potential, then you're checking in on Sally, you're kind of stalking her tracking, right? And then you're sending her private DMs like, oh my God, you've done so many workouts this week, you're incredible. Like, I know you haven't seen her picture maybe necessarily, but it'll help you see how many people have logged like one workout this week and how many people have logged 5 or 6, right?
Yeah, that's exciting for sure. Because I'm sure there's clients that I have that I'm like just assuming they've fallen off the wagon, and that's not the case at all, right? So yeah, there's coach potential there.
Totally. Yeah. Like some of those ones, even when I just pulled up, I was like, whoa, I did not realize she'd logged that many workouts. Because some people don't post their sweaty selfie, but that doesn't mean that they're not coach potential, right? And some people engage in all of the engagement posts, but they're not doing the workouts. So they might not be coach potential either. Right. So yeah. Yeah. I think I understand the hesitation for sure. I think ultimately at the end of the day, being able to tell people that this is a service that they're paying for, it's something that they're also getting. It's like added to that list of, you think about it, when people sign up, the list of things that they get, adding this like special tracker. How many people are using like the what is that food tracker app that like everyone's using?
Noom.
Well, yeah, there's Noom and then there's like the my Fitpal. or something like that, Fitness Pal. Yeah. So many people are like, oh, I'm using this tracker. I'm using this app to help me track my food and my workouts and stuff like that. So they get that this is a service that we're offering them that they're going to get, that people, yeah, usually pay for. So being able to talk about that, I think is going to be really beneficial too. Any other questions? Does everyone have a BOD group or going to have one? Yeah. Okay.
Do you do most of your stuff from your computer when you're in BOD groups, or do you do a lot from your phone?
If I'm going to be like pre-scheduling stuff, I'll do it from my computer. But if I'm just going in and kind of like pouring some love on people, it'll be through my phone. Just kind of whatever's faster. Remember too, like I love Sarah's point too about getting your coach involved. Like don't hesitate, you know, to do that, to ask your coach to be like the fourth person in your BOD group. That's fine. And honestly, a BOD group with 60 people versus a BOD group with 6, which one's going to have the higher ratio of accountability, right? Like I know in the beginning when I started that group and I had like 4 people in it, I was showing up every damn day because I knew that they would see if I didn't show up. So don't be scared if you've only got a few people. That's okay. That's where everyone starts. The sisterhood started out as a group with 8 people. 8. So just remember that.
I had another quick question. I don't know if anyone's experienced this. I have 2 people in my control free group. Like they're having pretty serious issues logging their workouts. I'm not sure if that's happened to anybody. I don't know. I can't, like one of them's my mom and I was like, Mom, like, is your app up to date? Like whatever, like a bunch of stuff. But for whatever reason, she gets all these funny glitches where the log workout button is just grayed out after she's done. I'm not sure if that's happened to anyone. Of course, I said, well, maybe just like contact support, like for technical issues and see if they can help you. I mean, I hate telling people to go to tech support, but like sometimes that's all you can do. But I also wanted to ask if anyone else has had challengers with that same problem.
Just this week, I ran into that problem as well. And it's one of my members who is older. She's in her 60s. So tech isn't her, forte. And I couldn't help her from my end. So I told her to check if her app needed updating. And then if that didn't work, then to troubleshoot it with support, I'm still waiting to hear back from her. That was just last night.
Okay.
I know there have been, like, I know a lot of people in the beginning were not jumping ship. They were very hesitant. Like even Kim Fitzpatrick only started a BOD group like a month ago because all the kinks weren't worked out yet, right? But like we said, they've put billions of dollars into this. They're really, really driving it home to make it good. So I would have faith in it.
Yeah, and I think it just like makes sense, right? Like you're already in the app.
Totally.
Like it's great.
And then it's just more professional, like I definitely haven't had a ton, but I've probably had maybe 10 customers in the last 2.5 years that haven't had Facebook. And they're like, oh, I don't have Facebook. And honestly, do many of us still use Facebook? I'm like, Dave asked me that. He's like, oh, do you not go on this person's Facebook page? I'm like, no, who goes on someone's Facebook page? I'm only on Facebook for like coach stuff. I don't do it for, so it kind of feels like a natural progression anyway.
I actually had assigned customers wanted access to my 9-week control freak BOD group, and I let them in, of course, but they didn't want to do the Facebook thing. So I have assigned customers sitting in that group posting from different programs, but that's okay. That's so cool.
Cool. Well, you can even like once you're control freak, because the control freak will be done soonish, right? Like opening up just like your general, if you want to have an ongoing general group, and just you could even open that up now, get them kind of getting the ball rolling. And my plan right now is like this week leading up to the 1st is just to dump a ton of files in there. I'm going to take like all of the files. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm literally taking all of the files directly from the Facebook group, plugging them into my main Rise community, so that any new customers that come to me, once they're finished the Start Strong, once they're finished the 3 weeks, they're just going to get plugged into that main Rise group, and they're going to have all of the materials and everything. So trying to just keep it easy peasy. And then if you are doing like a reoccurring 3-week thing, if you are wanting to do a 3-week thing, then you can simply share posts, right? So you can just, like, when you're scheduling your next one, you can go back to the previous Start Strong group and just copy and paste, like copy all of the things. So it's really user friendly.
And just super quick, are you planning on sharing like the recipes and the meal plans and everything like that in that community as well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the people in Facebook aren't going to be getting anything special. I don't think there's really going to be much difference between what's in Facebook and what's in the BOD group. But that way, regardless of where people are hanging out, if there are people that do hang out on Facebook, then they have it there that they can access it to, or it'll be in the BOD group. So I'll just try to remember to add to both. Awesome, guys. Any other questions? No? All right, we are here for you. If you have any questions, by we, I'm like Brienne is like shaking her head. She's like,
Yeah, no, I'm here, you know.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'm here for you too. So if you've got any questions, let me know. But honestly, don't be scared. Just go ahead, open up that BOD group, invite your peeps to it, personalize the message, tell them how excited you are about it. You show your enthusiasm and they'll be excited. And this is just the beginning. This is like, and then you're going to be able to pass this on to your coaches and onto their coaches. And it's just going to give everyone that like sense of ownership over what they're building, which is what we want to do here. We really don't want anybody kind of hiding in the shadows. We really want you to step up. And by we, I mean me. I really want you to step up into your role as a coach, because you all deserve it. All right, let me get a pic of you ladies before we go. With my nice water heater in the background. I need to kick my niece out so I can get my office back. All right. Okay.
You have a few minutes after this, Jen. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Leanne, can you stay on the call? Awesome.
All right. Take care, ladies. Have a great evening.
Bye, Jen. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye, guys.